Memorial Hall for Inter-landing Operation. This map is the original appearance of Korea. However, in nowadays, Korea was divided into two parts, North and South. Yes, Korea is the divided nation. This tragedy was started the day when Korea was independent. The US and the Soviet Union stationed troops in the south and north of the Korean peninsula respectively on the border of the 38th parallel north. Finally, Korea was divided. A liberal regime has been established in South Korea and a socialist regime in North Korea. 2 years later, the tragedy was begun. 95th June 25 a.m. 4 o'clock, the war was begun. That war was called as Korean War, and it was the war that occurred between the ethnic. That was the ethnic strife. Nowadays, that war is kept going, and it wasn't finished. North Korea, which has come down in a fearful mood, has taken over the capital city of Seoul in 3 days after the war began and headed south in fearful moments. When North Korea occupied South Korea, then Southern Korea leader Sungman-ri asked the United States for help. After that, the United States called the United Nations Security Councils and decided to send the UN Army gathered from 16 countries to South Korea. This time, our topic is started. Yes, right. The landing operations in Incheon. This event was very important for this war. This war and this event changed the situation of the war. Let's talk about it very precisely. During the Korean War, the UN commander was MacArthur. He planned the inter-landing operation on June 29th, when he first visited the Korean War. However, the Navy and the Marine Corps strongly opposed the selection of Incheon as a landing site. There were 3 reasons that they opposed the Incheon for the landing site. First, the sea in front of the Incheon has a huge gap in time, so the days of landing operation are limited. In September, when MacArthur plans to do so, he will be available for 3 days from the 15th, and if he misses it, he will have to wait for the next month. In addition, the action must be completed in a limited time of about 3 hours, each in the morning and evening when the tide is full, even on the broad date. Second, Incheon port is not only narrow for a large landing fleet, but also has limited sea access to the port. The landing operation must first occupy Warmido Island before the Incheon port, so it must go through the second stage of occupying Warmido Island in the morning and Incheon in the evening. Third, it is difficult to climb the highward landing coast, and after overcoming it, they must soon engage the enemy in the city. The US asked MacArthur to consider selecting a landing site other than Incheon. However, MacArthur chose Incheon for the very reason that many people were against it. So, the enemy as well as our allies would think it would be difficult. So, if we attacked that point, would have a strategic surprise effect. In fact, the enemy was fully guarding Incheon. September 15th, the landing operation was began. UN Army easily overpowered the enemy, which numbered only about 2,000, and succeeded in recapturing Incheon. About 3 days later, UN Army advanced in two directions, Gimpo and Yeongdeungpo City, beginning to surround Seoul, and succeeded in recapturing Seoul completely on September 28th. As a result, the Korean and UN Army also began to break through the entire front lines in the Nakdong River in the south on September 23. About 15 days after the launch of the landing operation, South Korean and UN Army recovered both south of the 38th parallel line. The enemy lost about 100,000 troops and fewer than 30,000 people fled to the north. Finally, the South Korean and United Nations Army crossed the 38th parallel line to occupy Pyongyang and the Yellow River. However, their ordeal was not over. When North Korea became unfavorable, China engaged in the war. China was so worried that if North Korea collapsed, the socialist country would be in danger. The Chinese army attacked the Korean and Allied forces without hesitations, and for this reason, they had to give Pyongyang and Seoul back to the North Korean soldiers. You know that there are many Chinese in the world. The Chinese military's tactics was human wave strategy. It is even said that the number of weapons was smaller than the number of soldiers. So they gave only one gun in a group that consists of the 3 people, and gave musical instruments to the others. They said the sound that they coming was so scary. The South Korean and Allied forces, which were retreating from the Chinese attack, took the opportunity to strike back again. At this time, Seoul was restored. And under these circumstances, the Soviet Union proposed to stop the war, and a ceasefire meeting took place between the United Nations and the North Korean military. Eventually, the ceasefire began, and so far the war has not ended. So this is a process of development of the June 25th war. From now on, I'll tell you about this place, the historical site about the landing operation in Incheon. This place is located in Incheon, the city that the operations were conducted. If you go to this place, you can see the weapons that was used at that time, and you can also see the process of the development very, very, very precisely with the exhibitions. If you have interest in this place, this museum, and the landing operation of Incheon, and I recommend you to watch some movie about this landing operation. This is the location where it is located.